All right, studio time check says it's 34 minutes past 6 a.m. Today's the 22nd day in May of 2025. Just like that, another month almost gone. Good morning to you, dear listener. Thank you for tuning to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of all your state. If this is your first time tuning in, I say welcome. Thank you for tuning in and for making the right choice, the choice to listen to the wholesome radio station. All right. This morning, the program is Perspectives Unlimited, and I'm your host, Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. We'll be taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria now. This is Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We are your preferred wholesome radio, bringing you wholesome content all day, every day. And we're broadcasting live from the Wells Broadcasting House. It's along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole State, Ibadan. That's where we're broadcasting from. And we'd like you to stay with us, be a part of the family. And how can you do that? You can do that for starters by following us on all our social media platforms. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X at Wells Radio 893. Alternatively, you can listen via our website, www.wellsradio893.com. You can also watch us live on Facebook. We're currently live on our Facebook fan page, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. That's Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, okay? So you can be a part of the family by doing that. Also find us on YouTube at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. All right. This morning, as I said earlier on, the show is Perspectives Unlimited. We're taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. And we'll get straight to it this morning. We'll get straight to it. And we'll take a look at the front pages. I have in front of me the front page of the Punch newspaper, the Daily Trust newspaper, and the Guardian newspaper right here. We'll start, of course, with the front page of the Punch rather. We'll start with the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. And the lead headline says, Terror Threats. Senate Zulum demand swift action from Tinubu. The writers to that story, we have the writers to that story. This one says, Boko Haram better equipped than military. This is from the Borno State Governor. Foreign terrorists infiltrating Nigeria. That's from the Senate. President should listen to army, not to politicians. That's from Zulum, and that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. More headlines. 2027, APC foresees Tinubu's win as Atiku Obi camps meet. That story is on page 2. More headlines. Salary crisis. Federal government plans intervention funds for 109 foreign missions. That's on page 29. Petrol price war closes nearly 5,000 fuel stations. That's on page 20. JAMB reviews 379,000 UTME receipt results. That's on page 14 of the Punch newspaper this morning. More headlines. Lagos seeks justice for 3,215 abused children in 2024. That's on pages 4 and 5. Nigeria spent $2 billion on external debt in 4 months. That's on page 20. Germany warns Nigeria, neighbors against Russia alliance. Okay, that's on page 7 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Moving on to the Daily Trust newspaper front page, 2027. This headline says, ADC as new bride. Okay, that's on the front page, continued on pages 3, 4, and 5. Dangote to federal government, focus on local investors, as on page 17. Manufacturers, LCCI, demand interest rate reduction, as on page 24. Shadow government, court orders DSS to serve Utome, begins hearing on June 24. That story is on page 14 of the Daily Trust. Politicians, soldiers among Boko Haram informants, that's from Zulum on page 6. Wike raises alarm over FCT security and health sector, that's on page 29. Reps to raise panel over abandoned bar report, that's on page 23. And spelling competition exposes poor standard in FCT schools. That story is on page 20 of the Daily Trust newspaper. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper, the stories are similar, but we have this 2027. Forget defections. Hungry Nigerians hold ace. Makinde tells PDP. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Um, More headlines. Reps rallies federal government to rescue stranded Nigerians in Saudi Arabia. That's on page 4. More headlines. Gladiators sheath sword. Restore calm to Rivers polity. That's on page 4. More headlines. Lagos State government says Ikeja, Lagos Island, Lekki, top states crime locations. That's on page 5. Nigeria's, on the business page 15, Nigeria's GDP per capita too low, needs growth to boost income and meet aspirations. And finally, NMDPRA to cut petroleum truck loading capacity to 45,000 litres. That story is on page 28 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. These and many more are some of the stories we're talking about on Perspectives Unlimited this morning. If you're just joining us, this is Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Stay with us and be a part of the show. In about 20 minutes, we'll open the phone lines and you can be a part of the conversation this morning. Would like you to do that, to be a part of the conversation, and so we'll open the phone lines for you to be able to do that. All right. I'm not here alone, of course, because I won't, speak to all of this by myself. Our analyst is in the studio, Mr. Olale Konsani. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, madam.
How do you do?
Well, how about you?
I'm fine, thank you. We started this conversation before the show started. There's so much about 2027 in the dailies. Every day, it's become, something. So it's become a staple now, in the dailies. This morning, for example, the Punch newspaper has 2027. It says 2027 APC foresees Tinubu's win as Atiku Obi camps win. The Daily Trust also has the headline of 2027. Same with the Guardian newspaper as well. Having don't fear defections, hungry Nigerians will decide 2027 polls. Market details PDP. Do you believe that Nigerians are ready to decide this poll?
Well, I may not be able to speak for all Nigerians because I'm just a Nigerian. But the truth of the matter is that if you feel like your affairs have, gone south in the last 2 years, nobody should prop you up before you say, okay, who else can we consider? That is where I stand. For me, for the country, for us as Nigerians individually, things have totally gone south. And it's simply because of the fact that the current president is handling the country in a very, very bad manner. So if you have a bad driver, why won't you consider changing the driver? As far as I'm concerned, Nigerians should be more concerned about 2027 more than the politicians. That is, if we actually take our country seriously, we should concern ourselves with 2027 more than politicians should concern themselves with 2027, because we are the ones who are going to feel we are the ones who are going to carry the whole weight at the end of the day. All this money they are borrowing, they won't pay back. It's us who will pay back. So we should concern ourselves very, very seriously 2027.
Now, looking at the trend of the last couple of elections, local government elections, state government elections, is this a trend that you think will follow into 2027?
Well, let's not talk about local government elections. As far as I'm concerned, that's just selection.
So let's take a look at the state
The only
government
local government election that remains credible to me was the one conducted by somebody I'm not a fan of, El Rufai. The records are there. I'm not a fan of his. I can never be, at least looking at what's on the ground. But it did that, and everybody applauded him. In fact, it was an heave-voting type of election then, where, it was computerized. It was not popular in southern Kaduna then, and his party lost woefully in southern Kaduna. The places where his party was popular, of course, they won there, but where they were not popular, they didn't win. And he released the result just like that. Party faithfuls got angry. Oh, we have been supporting you all this while. We expected you to do one thing to. I said I couldn't have done that because the people didn't vote for us. So let's respect that. For all others, selection, selection, selection. Yes, INEC has not been doing very, very well, but it has not just been INEC. It has also been about the people as well. Let's consider Ondo. The people said Agbu, Adetidibu. We collected money and we have voted. How exactly do you blame INEC for that? That's not the fault of INEC. It's the fault of the people of Ondo State. And right now, governance is upside down there. You need to go to Ondo State. There is nothing to be proud of there. And it's because it's what the people want. So, if Nigerians haven't learned anything tangible before 2027, then so be it. What I can assure anybody who cares to listen is that if we reinforce failure, failure is going to come running at us. So if that is what we want, then it's fine.
All right, thank you so much. So now let's get to the headlines on the front page, or on front pages of the dailies. One story that is, that stands out is this, will I say interview, TV interview that
Governor Bruno.
the governor of
Bruno.
of Borno State,
Professor Zulum.
Babagana Zulum, had yesterday on a TV station where he made several claims. Apart from urging the president to take urgent measures against the renewed terrorist attacks, he made statements saying that some politicians and even members of the armed forces were acting as informants and collaborators for the insurgents, and they were complicating efforts to restore peace. He went ahead, to say that the solution to the prolonged insurgency lies in strengthening the ground-level military intelligence and avoiding political interference. He also pointed to something that we've been talking about for a while. You, in particular, have been talking about for a while, is that these people are targeting military bases and, stealing equipment and the likes. And he says that if Nigeria has the right focus, we can end insecurity in 6 months. Do you believe that?
3 months. 3 months. In all seriousness, things are not going the way they should be going at all in this country. Last week, within 48 hours, we lost 5 military bases to these people. They killed a lot of soldiers. They burnt all the tanks and big weapons they couldn't carry along with them, and took every gun and bullet in these 5 military bases. What do you think they're going to do with those guns and bullets? Hunt bats? Of course not. They'll come running at us later. That's that. As for what he said, and alongside the Senate, that the president should focus on the military, that he should make sure he finds a way to stem the tide of Boko Haram. I mean, I won't sit here and say, oh, Buhari did well, Buhari didn't do well. He didn't do well. That's the truth of the matter. But when Buhari was leaving on the 29th of May 2023, there was not a single word under the control of Boko Haram. Nigeria was in charge of all 774 local governments. As I speak to you right now, that's no more the case. We have lost a number of local governments to these people in Borno, in Adamawa, and in Yobe State, 3 states. Now they are popping up in Gombe and Borno and Bauchi. The boundary between the 2 states is a hotbed for terrorist activities right now. But these are things that have not really gained traction in our dailies. But that is what is happening there. The Senate said yesterday that the president should focus on his job as the commander-in-chief. And, I won't be the one to commend the Senate led by Babio, but, could anybody have faulted that? No. The president is concerned with one thing and just one thing alone, 2027. He is holding meetings day and night with opposition party members to endorse him, such that the 3 members of the Senate from Osun State, PDP members, they all said, okay, we are going to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The garden that you water is the garden that will turn green. The one that you fail to water, it will naturally go dry. Security in Nigeria is going dry simply because the president is not watering that garden. But politics, come 2027, as regards how it's going to, it's flourishing, it's prospering, simply because that is where his efforts are. Now let's talk about informants within the system. Countless are instances where we have heard from soldiers on the field that they got a clue that these bad boys are somewhere, that they wanted to go there, and a superior order came from nowhere to say don't go there. Or sometimes they will be somewhere waiting for these bad boys because they know that they're going to pass through that place, and somebody will say leave that particular place where you are. They leave within 5 minutes. These bad boys are
So
already.
you're alleging internal sabotage.
That's on one side. On the other, for the big boys and for the guys who are still wearing boots on the field, countless are instances where we have heard of instances where they were arrested with a cache of weapons, like
Arrested with what?
cache of weapons and ammunition. There was a particular point in time, not too long ago, a Lance Corporal, if I'm not mistaken, was caught with over 1,000 bullets. He was trying to smuggle these bullets out of the base. Who exactly do you want to give these bullets, if not the bad boys we are talking about here? That is on one side. For the politicians, we cannot but say Zulum is right. Professor Zulum is right here. There is a particular bad boy. His name is Kabiru Sokoto. He blew up a Catholic church in Madala. Madala is actually in Niger State, but very close to Abuja. That was in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Are you eager to know where this guy was caught? He was initially arrested by the SSS. Somehow, they gave him to the police arrested him. Mysteriously, he escaped. Guess what? Guess where they located the guy eventually? Inside the government house of Borno State, when the current vice president was governor of Borno State. So if we are saying that people had the top power...
Wasn't he the one that was... One of them was also, given a traditional title?
No, that one is in Taraba State. Wadume. That one, it's a complex case. Police officers went to arrest him. They actually laid their hands on him. They were taking him from one location to the other, and they were accosted by men in military uniform for army personnel, such that they shot and killed 2 police officers who went to arrest this guy. So saying that there is internal sabotage or people are giving information to these bad guys is like saying, oh, when it's 12 a.m., it should be dark, and when it's 12 p.m., it should be bright. That is the truth. What I am saying here actually is that why is it difficult for us to handle all of this? It's because people who should be handling this cannot tell us that their hands are clean. That is exactly why we are where we are. Can you imagine? A terrorist, somebody who blew up a church, was found in the government house where the governor was residing. And somehow that same governor has been elevated to the position of vice president. And we think we are on a path to peace. Let's get serious.
We voted for him. Meanwhile,
okay.
That was just an aside. But meanwhile, flashback quickly to the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, who said that terrorist groups in Nigeria do not wield more sophisticated weapons than the country's military. Whereas yesterday, while speaking, Babagana Zulum mentioned the fact that they have more, he said the insurgents had gained technological superiority over the Nigerian forces. Someone is saying that the president should listen to the army. If the president should indeed listen to the army, listening to the Minister of Defense, what do we make of this?
Let me tell you something, madam. As the president, you are not totally supposed to listen to the military. Those you listen to are those who gather intelligence, SSS. Those are the ones who are going to tell you where to wield your weapon. As the commander-in-chief, your mandate is to order men in uniform, go and dismantle that place. Not that you listen to them. That's that. In all seriousness, I disagree with Professor Zulum here. I have an idea of what Nigeria has when it comes to things you can use to, create mini rapture Nigeria has a lot. The question is, why are these things not being deployed? We have scores upon scores of fighter jets that can bring instant peace to this country, that can level these people in a flash, but we are not using them. We have drones. Year in, year out, Nigeria buys drones. Yet, I have never for once heard of an instance where they said, okay, they just neutralized some bad boys using drones. What we are now saying is that these bad boys, they have been able to secure their own drones, and they are using those drones actively against us. Of the 5 military bases they actually destroyed in Borno State, 2 were leveled using drones. And drone is a serious game changer. If you can have a drone, there is nobody that is out of reach for you.
Because you don't have to be there physically.
You don't have to be there physically, number one. Number two, you are coming from the sky, so that they are not even seeing you. I can only pray for the governor of that state right now.
Now we have some, protected species. We have some no-fly zones where if you do try to fly things like that, they just come crashing down. We have all of this technological intelligence in the country.
It's one thing to say this place is designated as a no-fly zone. It's another thing to have the technology to, number one, detect.
We have it in Lagos.
No, number one, detect if there is an aerial vehicle in that region.
Yes.
Number two is to take that aerial vehicle down. These are 2 things.
All right, if you're just joining us, it's Perspectives Unlimited coming your way from Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. On the Punch newspaper, we are reading, or we've read that the camps of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, along with former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai and some other political leaders have agreed to adopt the ADC, that's the African Democratic Congress, as the primary coalition party to challenge President Bolanle Tinubu in 2027. Should this be a situation of, how do I put this? The devil we know, would probably be better than a coalition of angels that we don't know. Also, in addition to that, let me add this so that you can talk about it all. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State in the last elections did not hide his loyalties. And we all saw that in the results of the presidential election in the state. Now the governor has said that the PDP will continue to identify. He's still in the PDP, despite what happened at the last elections, and he has said that he's not leaving PDP. The party shouldn't be discouraged by the recent cases of defection from the party to opposition parties, saying that he supports the zonal executive, he supports the executive of the party. PDP remains the only party in Nigeria with strong institutions. Basically, words of affirmation for the PDP. But do these words of affirmation go hand in hand with his actions?
The very first thing to do here is to correct a wrong notion that the current president won in Oyo State because of Seyi Makinde's loyalty. He won in the Southwest because the people of Southwest felt like, look, that is it. And in all seriousness, for Seyi Makinde to now come here and begin to say all sort of good things about the PDP, that is hypocrisy 101. 2023, you said it to the whole world that you were not going to support the PDP.
Or the presidential candidate of the PDP.
Yes, that you were going to support another person. And when the result of the election came out, you said you were happy to be part of the people that actually installed the status quo as of then. Now, let's now talk about what is happening now. The PDP, as far as I'm concerned, is an empty shell. It is a party of people with unwholesome characters. Like I told you, everybody in Osun State PDP right now, they are now dancing after the current president, such that they are saying that come 2027, they are going to support him. And you are in one party promising to support the candidate of another party. That is political irresponsibility at its peak. But where did it start? It didn't just start. Some 5 people laid the foundation for that. Anytime any PDP governor or HAPGA governor like Soludo did comes out openly to say, I am supporting Tinubu come 2027, I rush to blame those people.
The G5?
Anybody who is saying that now.
Okay.
But there is no way we are going to talk about them and not talk about G5, because G5 started it. What did the G5 do then? I mean, one of them ran for the presidency under the platform of the PDP and he lost. And for that reason, they said, everyone is going to come down. We are not going to support the guy who defeated us at the primary. We are going to vote another person. If you find yourself in a situation where you have issues with the PDP, the APC, Labour Party, HAPGA, ADC, the very first thing to do is to get out of that boat. Go to wherever you want to go. That is why I'm not totally against people leaving one party. It's not the best ideal, but it's better than staying in one camp and be saying the people in the other camp are better than the people in... No. That is political irresponsibility at its peak. As regards what he said yesterday, I heard everything. And in all seriousness, I'm not moved by a millimeter. Because 2 years ago, you were doing exactly what the people you are abusing today were doing. I mean, you were on the camp, you were on the side that people today are now learning from. And all of a sudden you are saying they are bad people, they are this, they are that. No, they are learning from you. If you didn't do what you did 2 years ago, would they be doing that?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sani. We'll take a short break. If you're just joining us, it's Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll open the phone lines and we'll continue the program. Please stay with us.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Yomi on 0706 616 5053. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
right, you're welcome back. Let's take this
Good
call.
morning.
Hello, good morning,
Good
sir.
morning to everyone listening.
You're
Sherry calling
welcome.
from Nara.
You're welcome, Mr. Sheriff.
Thank
You're our
you.
first caller this morning.
Regarding the issue of insecurity. See, if Governor Sudum can utter that statement that some politicians and even members of armed forces were acting as informers and collaborators for insurgents, I think that statement speaks volume. And don't forget, some years back, the Northern said attack to Boko Haram is a attack to Northerner. That means Mr. President, it's time for him to think outside the box, because it's unfortunate that some insurgents against technology do security over Nigeria's forces. That means despite the money allocated for our security agency, that money they misuse it when there's no proper monitoring. And federal government should stop fighting security on newspaper pages. We need a new political way to end this insurgency. And Mr. President to appoint a rapping to not a political jamboree to his followers from the critical sector of this country. Because this, if care is not taken, this insurgency that are reaching our country is getting out of hand every day, which is very bad. That's my own submission.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sulaiman Sharif. Now the studio lines are open 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-2000. The calls are coming in. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, do call us back. 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-2000, and 0915-333-4893.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Hello, good morning to you, Ma. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, this is Ruth calling from Malacca.
Okay, you're welcome, Ruth. Please go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, as the Governor Zulum demanding for street action from Mr. President, I just owe Mr. President to rise up to this occasion and salvage the country from this menace. Because the rate of killings in the country is really getting out of hand. And it's high time the president do the needful as far as insecurity is concerned. And for now, they should please forget about this 27 abortion. What we want is for the masses' life to be saved and the properties too. Please do the needful on time. Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you so much. A call to Mr. President to do the needful. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Adirunke from Muslim.
Adirunke, you're welcome. Let's have your contribution.
Yeah, concerning Governor Seyi Makinde's statement that he won't abandon it, is a good one coming from the governor, because whatever he say he will do, he will surely do. Just take a look at it that 0.2 will be much more better than 0.1. Sorry, 0 will be much more better than 2.0. Sorry, 2.0 will be
we
much
understand.
better.
We understand what you're saying.
So, and the coming to it, we also the recruitment test comes to best teacher. So he has been working effortlessly. So we don't even see that the second time governor can do the way he's doing in the state. So it's a good one. And I'll just order the other position emanate from his style of leadership. They should emanate from him, not just that at the time of crisis, people will leave their party and go to other party, which is not. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, ma'am.
Good morning to you. Your
Yeah,
name and
Ruth
where
calling back.
Okay, Ruth, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, on the statement accredited to Governor Shimande that he will not defeat APC is a good one. Because a political elite like Mr. Governor knows the party that gave him the ticket and hand him the mandate, unlike others that are just after their selfish interests, will not just leave their party like that. So I will just implore the governor to please take action in making the party to come together, in resolving their differences, so as to take power from this APC come 2027. So may God help us. Good morning.
May God help us all. I know Mr. Sani has a couple of things to say, but let's take this call first. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sulaiman Sharif is calling back.
Okay, please go ahead.
We need the formidable opposition party in our country, because the beauty of democracy is that we need to have the freedom, the liberty, and opposition. But the opposition that are able to criticize constructively, not the way the APC did in 2015 and to defeat Jonathan, because they use bank propaganda, and even they use insecurity that are in our country now, but definitely even under the APC as well. So what the state governor said, it may be right that APC was struggling Nigerian, but PDP at the national, they need to form a political opposition to stand by unity, not by by allowing the self-interest to divide them. Because
Mr. Sheriff,
yes,
what do you think? What are your thoughts about this ADC?
about
ADC, this coalition that's they're coming together.
Since 1999, none of the third party, third force performed excellently well, except the Labour parties that did unbelievable performance on 2023 election. And why? It's because of OP movement. And that scenario cannot repeat itself in 2027 because Mr. President that we have now is someone that he understands politics very well. That's the reason why he used tactics to cause drift in other opposition parties.
Allegedly.
Because not allowed them to be united at all. Yes, because there's allegation that APC sponsors some elements to destroy the opposition party.
Mr. Sheriff, please, can I ask you a question, sir?
I'm with you, sir.
Yes, sir. 2023, who did Governor Shimakide support for presidency?
He did not utter any statement, but according to his statements that he should vote for unity.
Did he support the candidate of his party, the PDP?
What is it?
Did he support the candidate of the PDP, his party?
I don't think so.
Okay, and you are saying he's a great man for the PDP.
But I will blame the Atiku because you need to sacrifice. As a leader, you need to sacrifice. Truly, you want that position as well.
What exactly did Atiku do wrongly, sir?
See, the Atiku that later go and pick Ukowa. Where's Ukowa now? Ukowa debate to APC.
Was Okowa not in the PDP then? Was it an offense to pick a PDP person?
See, that time they told him that if you pick Okowa, no problem. But the national party of the party, national chairman of the party, which is IU, you zone it to another zone that the president candidate cannot come from the north, and the chairman of the party cannot come from the north, and DG campaign of Atiku also cannot come from the north, which is Tambuwa.
Sir, the chairmanship of the party, where exactly was it before they changed a secondary south?
I understand, but see,
you are sacking people, you are chasing people away, and you are saying that people should not accept the people you are chasing away. That's not how it works.
Thank you so much, Mr.
So
let me correct the wrong notion
here.
here.
Misuse your good opportunity that I give you. That's my own submission.
Thank you so much,
The
Mr.
chairman
Sheriff.
of the party was a southerner. Because Wike wanted to contest, he found a way to use the word to sack the national chairman. And you now said it must go to the north when it should have stayed in the south. We are now saying other people and not. Is that my problem? Not my problem. No,
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Sani. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good FM.
Good morning to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm Salam. I'm calling from Awoton.
You're welcome, Mr. Salami. Let's have your perspective.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Sonny.
Morning, sir.
All right, my brother. Thank you, sir. I have a lot to say this morning, but I'll just limit it to just one, which is Governor Seyi Makinde's submission that that is not bothered about the deal of defection. Well, courageous statements to make, but what actually gave rise to the hunger, the widespread hunger, is part of, he was part of them. Honestly speaking, where would have been APC in government by now if he had supported his party in the first instance? I like him as a person, but the action he took in 2023 against PDP is highly, in fact, is the greatest disservice anybody can do to his country. Honestly speaking, they all followed Wike. Where's Wike today? Wike that is unreliable. I'm sorry to say.
He's the minister of the
FCT. God help us.
Amen.
Sir?
I said he's the minister of the FCT.
Yeah, minister of the FCT. I know, but how did he get there? He hoodwinked others. Yeah, just to make himself a saint to the president of today. Look at him. Among all the 5 of them that followed him, only Wike is enjoying. Others have been neglected, and they have staked their political future because of it. Everybody blaming Atiku. Why are you blaming Atiku? Why are you blaming Atiku? Atiku still has his followers. That's just saying. God bless Nigeria.
I should say something here. For Seyi Makinde, the very first thing he needs to do is to apologize to Nigerians for supporting Bolanle Tinubu, because he is part of those who installed the poverty that is on the ground right now. So if you want to talk to us, apologize first.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, madam. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
This is Miriam from Odedai.
Miriam, you're welcome. Let's have your perspective.
Thank you. As regards insecurity, sincerely, federal government should provide maximum security for lives and properties. It is one of their major responsibilities. And it will also yield growth and development, which is why it's so important for them to consider all provided options to provide security. And I pray the Lord will lead them right. Thank you. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much for that. The phone lines are still open, 0916 893 1000, 0916 893 2000, and 0915 333 4893. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is George. I'm calling you from Oduekun-Ayoola.
You're welcome, Mr. George. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Maleko, thank you very much.
Good morning, sir. Thank you, sir.
You have always been telling us the truth, and I pray that we should listen to what you are saying. See, our president started playing politics when it is not time for us to play politics because of the gains that he's making out of politics. But look at what is happening to us now. Boko Haram is overrunning all our military bases in Nigeria. Boko Haram is a terrorist organization. By the time they overrun the whole country, we will now start knowing the errors that the Muslim ticket we are talking about earlier on will bring to us. Because even the laws and whatever policies that we are talking about as far as politics is concerned will not matter to them again. We are playing a very bad game under the leadership of Tinubu. It's not going to bring us anything good. When this rain starts falling, all of us will start running up and down. We will not have a place to hide our heads. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contributions. If you're just joining us, we're just a few minutes shy of wrapping up the show, but you can still be a part of the conversation. 0916 893 1000, 0916 893 2000, and 0915 333 4893. Hello, good morning.
We no go gree, we no go gree. Justice for Kennedy, we no go gree. Let me say one more time. We no go gree, we no go gree. Justice for Kennedy, we no go gree. The young boy that lost his life day before yesterday, I think to me is a colossal loss to the territorial state and it's a colossal loss to Nigeria at large. No matter what the father might have done wrong, that shouldn't have caused the guy to lose life. So what are we saying this morning? I'm lending my voice to the government that we want justice for that slain boy. May it so continue to rest perfect peace. Amen. Secondly, Mr. Lale, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Please,
is that Mr. Mario?
Before you even go ahead, sir, you didn't tell us your name, sir.
Oh, sorry. This is Benga Mario calling from Apata.
You're welcome, Mr. Mario. Please go ahead.
Now, I want to ask you a question, Mr. Laleko.
Right,
in the history of this country, have you seen any Hausa man that has been at the end of affairs as a president in this country? Like I was discussing with somebody yesterday, and the person told me that we have never had an Hausa leader in this country as a president. He said we only have Fulani as president. Please, I want to please do justice on that. And on the cry that Governor Zulum is crying out about the influx of this Boko Haram in Borno State, I think it's high time the government of the day wakes up from their slumber. As you can see, the Boko Haram, they have taken hostage of so many communities, of so many local government areas in Borno State. So we have some politicians that are giving those first-hand information. We have some soldiers that are conniving with some of those bandits. So the problem is, we have to deal with those insiders first. We have to deal with those saboteur soldiers. We have to deal with those saboteur politicians before we can have, an headway on this issue. And like what Governor Zulum said, he said some of those Boko Haram that the weapons they are carrying is much more weightier, much more sophisticated than what our soldiers are carrying. So what are we saying this morning is that the government also should equip our soldiers, give them much more weapons so that they'll be able to fight those and combat the menace of those Boko Haram. And I'm using this medium to pray for our soldiers that are still living, that may the good Lord continue to be their strength. May God cause his face to shine on them. and they may not die untimely in Jesus' name. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mario, for this. Mr. Sani, you want to answer the question?
Abacha was also. Yaradua Fulani, Buhari Fulani, Abacha was also.
Okay. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
George calling back.
Okay.
Let's leave this issue of Hausa, Fulani, and the rest of it. Tribal sentiment is not even helping us again now. I am saying now that where we are heading to now is that we are giving room to these terrorist people to overrun this country. Are we going to be safe under them? We saw what happened in River State. What they call it, Wiki joined APC to destroy River State. When these Boko Haram people overrun the whole country, we are not going to be able to do anything again, and they are going to rule us under their own dictate, under their policy. No education, no good, no government, unless we dance to their tune. Nigeria is really being given up to this terrorist organization by this present administration. The one.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. George. He said it well because one of the things that we find that Nigerians often, cling to is ethnic sentiments. Let's take that call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Sarah. I'm calling from Ibadan here.
Okay.
You see, issue of security is a very close, is a very tight and very secret something. Most of us who have children in the army was a friend of mine in a corner. The only blame I will put on Tinubu is that why is he hiding the generals? It's not a matter of religion, no. Like Mr. George is trying to portray. It's not a matter of religion or tribe or something. Because this Boko Haram, just to say I've worked in Kaduna before and I know what it is here. Are you getting me? So that the only blame I can put on Tinubu is that he allows the generals to sit down in the office, the brigadiers sit down in the office, enjoying themselves. Are you getting me?
Please go ahead.
Now, sending captains, major. Look at the guy that was killed last week in Borno or something like that. He was just a lieutenant colonel or something like that. What are the generals doing? Such a thing can never happen in US or Britain or Germany. They will send their best to the war front. Look at the Niger Civil War. It took 30 months before the war came to an end because I would have said that there is no need for this war. And he supported Gowon to see that the thing ended within 2.5 years. I was not a kid at that time. So stop blaming Tinubu. Buhari caused all this problem. At the time Buhari should have taken proactive action, he was the leader saying that you can't there are people. What of Patient Jonathan, who said that when Jonathan ought to have taken prompt action and legislatively, like Obasanjo would have done. He said that we cannot be killing our people. They are our people. That's President Jonathan. Nobody is part of that statement again. They're not putting all the blame on Tinubu. Tinubu made this thing on ground. I'm not a friend of APCO because as I speak to you right now, I'm one of their victims. I'm a complete wreck. I lost over 11 million on a fishery and animal farming project. But that does not make me say that I will not say the truth. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much, sir. Let's move on quickly before we wrap up the show. There are one or two, things that we want to talk about. Nigeria spends $2 billion on external debt in 4 months. This is on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. It says that Nigeria has spent $2.01 billion on external debt servicing between January and April of 2025. This is a 50% increase compared to the $1.33 billion that was recorded during the same period in 2024. Apparently, this report is according to the latest international payments data published by the CBN on its website. We're spending so much. What are we receiving, Mr. Oduekun?
We are receiving what we cannot point our hands to, but the fact is that the government is receiving the money. If they're not receiving the money, they wouldn't be repaying. I want you to understand two things here. Number one is that our foreign debt profile has increased by at least 50%. That's the direct meaning of this. We are borrowing way more than what we met when Buhari left. That is number one. Number two is this: $2 billion in just in 4 months. When it's 12 months, we're talking about $6 billion.
Let me
For
clarify
reference point,
something.
okay.
We heard from the IMF
Okay.
that as of April 30, 2025, I'm saying this because I'm hearing it from people in the public,
Okay.
that as of April 30, 2025, Nigeria has fully repaid the financial support of about $3.4 billion that it requested and received in April 2020 from the
2020.
IMF under the Rapid Financing Instrument. That's the COVID-19, alleviate the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, people are going about saying that Nigeria has paid all its debts.
Nope. It is a very big fat and tall lie. We are talking about a certain loan we collected in 2020.
So
and
just
it was part of the agreement that you start paying when it's 2023, 2025, you finish paying. So it wasn't as if this presentation did something extraordinary. It was already in writing.
And it's also worthy of note that despite the full settlement of the principal,
We are
apparently
still paying
we're still going to
tens of
honor
millions.
additional
Yes.
annual payments
Yes.
related to the special drawing
Almost
rights
$29
charges.
million.
$30 million.
Per annum. That's on one side. On the other side, Nigeria is not really even borrowing so much money from outside again. Rather, we are borrowing from within. Look at that. We will be using 9 trillion, an equivalent of 9.5 trillion naira to service foreign debt in 1 year. In the first 3 months of this year, the government, in the name of treasury bills alone, has borrowed 10 trillion naira from the local market. And where exactly is that money going to? Look at all the roads. Ibadan to Ife is a sorry state. Ibadan to Oyo, you won't want to go there. Ibadan to Ijebu. I mean, where exactly is this money going to?
All right. Moving on quickly before we wrap it up this morning, JAMB has announced that it's going to hold more exams for those for absentee.
Mop-up exams.
Mop-up, yes,
Which
for
usually will not go.
absentee students, those who miss JAMB. So if you're a parent and your child missed JAMB for one reason or the other, please try to find out.
We're not talking about those who missed
how,
JAMB. We're
for
talking about
5.6% of those who
got
missed.
what they did. I mean, they felt like, oh, this isn't my result.
No, they said for those absentees. That was the word they used.
Absentees because they fixed their exam for, what's it called?
For
a
days
day
when they had
when
other
they
exams,
were
yeah.
writing
So,
WAEC. I mean,
you know.
why the rush? They
Oh,
shouldn't
well.
be talking about any exams right now.
I believe it's, well, I can't speak for JAMB, so I won't.
They are not
even-
making sense. That's the truth of the matter.
Meanwhile, they're doing a final audit. Initially, the results were supposed to be out yesterday, but they say that they're doing the final audits of the results of 379,775 candidates who sat the rescheduled examinations. So if you're looking out to say, oh, my child hasn't received his results, it's because JAMB is apparently doing the audit. And finally, this morning, the Senate has summoned NAFDAC over toxic fruit ripening practices. We need to be careful. Many people, farmers and traders alike, are ripening their fruits with carbide.
The truth of the matter is that NAFDAC doesn't certify fruits.
Yes.
They shouldn't have called NAFDAC. Instead, they should have called NOA, National Orientation Agency, to enlighten these people who are doing that not to do it, and of course to call police to arrest those who are still doing it. That's how to do it.
All right. They say that ethylene and methylene jasmonate may be considered relatively safe. These are some of the things that are used to ripen fruit. However, it's the problem is with the use of the widespread calcium carbide, ethopon.
They
and
use
the
carbide, and
ethylene
sometimes they even soak these
glycol.
things in gutter. I've seen that before.
And these things contain lead and arsenic, which are deadly,
Arsenic
and
is
they can
not
cause severe
good
health
at
problems
all.
like cancer, kidney damage, liver failure, neurological disorders. So this is to say to our listeners, if you go out there, you're trying to buy bananas, you're trying to buy some fruits there's that look that it has when it's false ripened. It's not.
It's like lemon.
Yes,
it's
if you
not
see
totally
bananas
yellow.
are supposed to be green, they're not green, they're a bit yellow and black.
Exactly.
Please stay away from them. You know that when there is no demand, the supply will wilt away, and that's what we're looking out for. Okay, so take care of yourself, take care of your health. You are important to you, and you are important to us. Thank you so much, Mr. Sani, for joining us on
It
the
is
show.
always an honor to
A
be
big
here.
thank you to every single person who called, but don't go away, because the sports crew is right on hand, ready to give you the latest, the freshest, and the best stories in the world of sports. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. Good morning, and God bless you. Into this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
89.